It is at the Court of Appeal where a man found renewed hope after being sentenced to 15 years for impregnating a 15-year-old girl. 3 judges overturned that ruling 5 years into serving his sentence and ordered his release. The 3 judges, Daniel Musinga, Roslyn Nambuye and Patrick Kyage, questioning the penal provisions in the Sexual Offences Act No. 3 of 2006. According to judgment delivered on the 22nd of March this year, many other jurisdictions criminalize only sexual conduct with children of a younger age than 16 years. They further compared the reasoning applied when the English House of Lords in the UK had the case of a woman against a doctor who offered contraceptives to 5 15-year-old girls without parental consent. It was said that the young ones might not have attained the age of maturity, but they may well have reached the age of discretion to make intelligent and informed decisions about their lives and their bodies. Despite that, a section of Kenyans are not taking that matter lightly.
Sasa watakuwa na mzigo mzito sana. Haifai juu sasa huyo si bado mtoto. Sasa akienda hivi, saa ingine apate mtoto. Si ni mtoto kwa mtoto.
Why can't we wait for our children to grow? Why do we declare them adults before they actually become adults? I don't see the motivation myself.
Teachers who also spend a lot of the time with the young ones say such a proposal will curtail their right to education.
That's a Form 2 student in most cases. No? And they will say the girl gave consent and the law allows them. So you'll do nothing. You'll end up with so many pregnancies in school.
I not expect a 16-year daughter of mine to bring boys in my home and begin telling that after all anaruhusiwa. Hapana.
John Chigiti, a children's advocate, maintains that such a proposal need to have understood the background as to why the initial age was put at 18 years.
What sex will do to an underage is affect their right to education. That child will drop out of school. Sex underage will expose them to abortion and obviously interfere with the reproductive health rights of that child. If we reduce it to 16, next year we'll reduce it to 14, and the other year we'll reduce it to 12, and eventually you know where that will end.
Early starters and age 14. To be honest, I don't really think that at that age these children are understanding themselves enough to be able to make decisions, especially about their sexual behavior and the responsibility that come with it. The main reason, as we sit here today, I know many communities in this country have never been free to discuss issues of sexual related matters with their children. And therefore, this thing starts rather late in our children's life. Mothers are actually shy to tell even their own daughters or sons, and even fathers don't confront it, to tell them about their sexuality and what the various changes in their bodies and the behaviors and the consequences of whatever they may do with their body, enough to make these children ready to take responsibility about their sexual behavior. And as a mother, I think I confirm, even if you told them, like personally I've always tried to tell them, they still don't understand. Between age 13, 14, 20 and 16, I mean 14 and 15 up to 16, there is still that confusion because whatever is taking place in their bodies is so strange, and like so each day they wake up with a new phenomenon in their body and they're wondering what's that, what is this?
Yeah, and the question here would also be, are we tackling it from the wrong end? Because that does not necessarily deal with the sexual behavior. The fact that you lower the age of consent does not necessarily take care of the fact that they will still be engaging in sex or sexual intercourse earlier than they should. Because again, there is the question of, like you've mentioned, the responsibility that comes with it. For example, if a child or a 16-year-old got pregnant, do they fully understand what that means and what it means for their lives?
They really don't. And that's why I'm saying the responsibility and the consequences that come with these sexual issues are such that at this age, between age 13 and 16, majority of the girls and the boys are still wondering, new things are erupting in their bodies and new changes. You know, some of them are early maturers, some of them are middle maturers, some are late maturers. And they are in the state of trying to really understand themselves. And with that, I think I would really fear to want to lower this age. And talking candidly about issues of sexual consent, I don't think lowering the age will really help us, because in other words, we are saying we are running away from some responsibility. Our constitution stipulates that our adulthood begin at least age 18. Right. We have young adults, and we can now, and even chronologically and physiologically, psychologically, people get a little bit more reasonable when they are 18 and above. And I think even me as an adult woman, today if somebody did something to me sexually which is wrong, I'm able to consent. But I think what we are saying here is we are not running away from the evil that is happening. We should not try to use age to run away from the evil, because we have women, mature women like me in this country, which are oftenly sexually abused and molested. And therefore, just talking about the age, as I really honor and respect my, they call themselves learned friends, I think here this knowledge is questionable, and I would wish that they recheck themselves. From a leader's perspective, I really still want to think that we need to give our children a little more time to mature up. Absolutely. There is no hurry. We don't have to copy things. For example, I know what could be informing this kind of information in the West. They talk of 16-year-olds being able to live on their own and things like that. But the reality of the matter, I've visited some of these Western countries. I'm telling you, a genuine parent in America, a genuine parent in Europe will tell you it is pathetic what is happening among their children. These children do crazy things, and if you talk to a nurse in any of those hospitals, they will tell you the kind of craziness, sexual craziness that accompanies this kind of movement. And therefore, I'm pleading with Africa, I'm pleading with Kenya. We don't have just to copy-paste things just because the world is doing it. As a Christian, I really think sexual immorality of any nature is condemnable. And so allowing our children to claim to be able to consent on their sexuality, and then they cannot bear at that age the responsibility that comes with it. For example, those early pregnancies, those sexually transmitted diseases, because it is their parents who are still responsible. In Kenya, I'm telling you, as I sit here today, there is even youth in this country who have finished university studies, and because of the nature of joblessness and an inability to fend for themselves, their parents are still taking charge. So how do you allow even younger children to indulge in things that would definitely affect their lives? I mean, this is ruining our children. And on this